Hello, Chad and Stacy's. I hope you are all doing well this fine after morning evening. In this video, I'll be talking about teacher strikes in the United States. This hopefully will be part of a series of videos about the United States education system, as it's something I find very interesting and I'm studying in college. But to be perfectly honest, who knows how it will go, right? But let me get into it. I want to offer just a quick piece of history on teacher strikes, and it will be very quick because the only huge teacher strike I could find before the 2018-2019 strikes was one strike in Florida in the 1960s, to be specific, 1968, where over 27,000 teachers skipped school to participate in a strike demanding higher wages and better school funding. The strike lasted from February 19th to March 8th, exactly 4 weeks. The strike ended when the Florida Board of Education agreed to increase school funding and wages. This was the only strike I could find on record, besides the 2018-2019 ones, which I found to be very interesting because strikes are a rather common way to get an increase in wage. Um, Either way, let's get into the main thing. The 2018-2019 strikes were a domino effect, starting with West Virginia teachers going on strike. This strike went from February 22nd, 2018, and lasted until March 7th, 2018. The teachers went on strike so that they could get better pay and cheaper health care. And for those who don't know, healthcare in the United States is extremely expensive, making this whole scenario outrageously crazy. Because if you're not getting paid a lot and it's a couple $1,000s a year just for insurance, it doesn't really add up how it could be possible to even think you could afford that. Um, the reason that West Virginia is so important to this whole strike domino effect is because it's a very conservative state. And while that might not seem too important, I promise it is. Conservatives, at least in the United States, although I'm sure everywhere, don't like high taxes. That's their main platform. They want low taxes, and low government spending. And normally, what they spend their money on is the military and police. Um, they're adverse to spending, even extends to teachers, which obviously has its own, uh, well, I'd say pros and cons, but really there's no pro. There's only cons in reality because teachers need to, be able to live. Either way. So essentially, the teachers who are conservatives themselves realize that they need to be paid more because they can't live on the salary they are being paid. Um, which this whole realization started a domino effect through the United States because teachers, even conservative teachers, realize they can't live off this minimal amount, especially for the work that they put in. This led to a lot more teacher strikes happening all around the United States, from North Carolina to Arizona, uh, and these strikes had lots of other reasons, like schools needing more money for support staff, like counselors. Um, but in general, they all needed more money for teachers' salaries because teachers just cannot operate under the salary that they're receiving. Um, After summer 2018, the strike seemed to stop until January 2019, when they started back up again with very similar problems, such as salaries, but they added a few new problems, such as class sizes, as they were too big. Most of these strikes led to teachers getting what they were demanding, but unfortunately for a few of them, they were unsuccessful, in all of them leading to students missing weeks, if not months, of school and teachers losing out on money. Um, and there's already a lot of controversy about strikes, and to add teachers into the mix is just a whole new level. So for the next part, I'll be talking about the controversy around it. Um, why, you might ask, is teachers going on strike so controversial? The reason is, if, let's say, all the teachers in a school district go to the capital of the state and strike, there are not enough substitute teachers in the area for all students to be in a safe environment, so they have to close school. Meaning that until the teachers come back, there can't be school. And while this might sound nice to a high schooler, which it sounded nice to me when I was in high school, this isn't as nice of a problem for children in kindergarten through sixth grade, because their parents can't leave their children at home alone because it's not safe for them. Meaning that parents will potentially not be able to go to work for several days or weeks or even months, or they have to hire someone who can take care of their kids, which is very expensive. Another problem is students who rely on lunches for schools will be missing out on their meals because schools closed. Um, so there are a lot of downsides for teachers going on strike that will negatively affect students, parents, and their communities. Um, and while the logical next step would be then, why do teachers go on strike then? If there's so many downsides, it disturbs the daily life of so many people. The reason is to go on strike and to show that you are so important, you have to show the downsides of what happens if you leave. If teachers only strike on the weekends, there's no impact. No one goes to school on the weekends, right? So these teachers need to show how important they are through not going to school during the week. Um, which not only is it a hard decision to make because you're essentially the only people you're really hurting are people who can't afford to pay for their kids to have someone to watch them, or they can't miss work, so they have to either take their kids in with them, or there's so many problems. Um, and so it leads to this: there's no easy solution to this problem, except there is. The government just needs to pay the teachers more. In it's just an easy solution. Um, in For example, in North Carolina, all teachers across North Carolina start at $35,000 a year, their first year, and they get a $1,000 increase until they've hit 15 years, which is $50,000 a year. And until they've hit 25 years of working, they don't get another increase, which is, first of all, insane. But second of all, in some parts of North Carolina, it's impossible to live by yourself on $35,000 a year. It is impossible. Um, so our society needs to realize that teachers can't be treated like crap. Um, and while I wish teachers would just get paid more, the reality is I doubt it will happen. And I doubt there'll be any increase in salary anytime soon, except, of course, the ones already built in. A little bit of a sad video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed or at least learned something. I just finished not first, but I finished a semester of college, which was quite stressful for me. But hopefully I'll be doing more videos. If you want to chat with me or do something with me, I have a Discord, my Twitch, and my Instagram linked in the description. Good luck testing out of strikes. Bye!